Send another long love letter, just another long love letter. Send another long love letter straight to me.
I went out to LA to just pursue both music and acting, and the acting thing sort of materialized a little quicker, and you know, a few commercials and a few TV things and independent movies, and you know, it's kind of like you feel silly to walk away from that, after a while. But eventually, I realized before I got too far down that path that I definitely wanted to make music and be a credible music artist first and foremost. So that just, that did entail me actually making a distinct choice to say, okay, I don't want to be, because I was getting typecasted for a lot of things, going out for the auditions for these things that were very much all-American quarterback kind of guy, and once you get branded that, to try and come out and be a reputable, respectable music artist, it's an uphill climb. And I don't know quite what it is or why it is, but that's just like an ism, where actors who establish themselves as actors have a much harder time proving themselves as musicians than musicians do proving themselves capable of acting. So I figured if I had to pick one, I was going to go with music, and there'll probably be some more acting in the future.
Shakespeare on my Westwood Cassidy.
It's always been the kind of thing where once you realize how the industry works on the music side, and you see it happen where, labels just it became easier for labels to sign the next 3 or 4 in-sync boy bands, just in case that, that cash cow sticks around. We want to have like the next 3 or 4 in the queue so that we stand to benefit from that. Than it is for them to go out and take a risk on some unknown concept or band or artist or style, and that's a bummer, So yeah, I decided early on that I didn't want to be part of some prefabricated formula that was going to, do X number of things just because it was on some formula that said that's how it was going to work.
And another long love, just another.
Well, yeah, we all sort of bring our stylistic preferences and influences to the table. I'm sort of more of the soulful thing, but also more of a classic rock enthusiast. Jay is his tendencies are a bit more straight up Americana, singer-songwriter. Matt is kind of the wild card, he brings a very eclectic blend of modern rock, and he is from a different generation than Jay and I, which is always cool because he is often way more mature than both Jay and I.
This morning.
The TFDI idea was born last year when we started our tour. The tour was called the Evening of the Feeling Song Tour, and that was just sort of obscure and wordy. And around that time, Jay and his wife had come up with this song they had sort of written for like the most remedial things that you can do. You can just like, you're tying your shoe, you know what to do, you're totally fucking doing it. And it just became this silly thing, like no matter what we were doing, there was a verse of the song to be written. And he said, I think we should change the name of the tour to the TFDI tour. Okay.
Straight to me.
We played an art gallery benefit, breast cancer awareness benefit, and they had a silent auction going on with paintings, and there was one of the sponsors was a local microbrewery, and they had a bunch of kegs of beer, and I mean a good 70 to 80% of people at this thing got sloshed, including one Matt Duke, who wound up buying a painting for $100. That was part of the argument.
Send another long love letter.
Yeah, there's a couple surprises, and we started the record before the tour began in Chicago, and we got 8 songs recorded, and we're going to go back and do a few more right before Christmas. So we have the rest of the tour sort of, iron out some additional material, and we've got a couple covers that we've been considering, incorporating those into the show to see sort of what works best. But yeah, I think we'll do something like that and make it our own, make it an original thing. Because everyone loves a good cover, but everyone also really digs a cover that's not so much like the original.
Just another long love letter, send another long...
Actually, the last time I had drank tequila was about 3 years ago at his show, backstage. It was his 100th show of his world tour, and we were hanging out backstage and talking tequila and whatnot, and I guess some impressions are made to last, because when it came time for him to promote and do an ad campaign for his thing, he had these 3 commercial spots that he was going to direct, and that's a big feat. 3 huge major short films in essence, or what they kind of turned out to be, in 3 days. He had to shoot them all in 3 days, and so he wanted someone that he had a little bit of shorthand with, that he could kind of, for the sake of time, that he wouldn't have to sort of figure out how to talk to, or get, just say a few key words, and then that person would be like, all right, yeah, I know what you want, I know what you're going for. And it was cool, because we go back almost 20 years, and so realized in working with him once again that the bond we had formed years ago was still very much in place, and it was cool to kind of be back on an equal footing with him for a day, and to collaborate with him on that final was great.
That mixtape made me smile, realize.
My fan base, my core fan base, has grown up with me over the years, even fans that were with me, were fans of mine on the Mouse Club, now they're in their late 20s and 30s, and they've got kids and families, and so, I think my fans have appreciated the way that I have stayed honest with my writing and written about what really is still going on in my life. As far as new listeners, yeah, it's afforded me more, it's just a broader range of listeners. I think there's enough on this new record that appeals to younger ears, and I know because some of it was inspired by trying to turn the head of my 7-year-old son, who was a big Beatles fan, on a couple of the tunes on the record. I had written demos and showed him the demos, and he responded to it. And I was like, okay, cool, and maybe I'm onto something here. And he's a tough critic, if he doesn't like it, he'll just say, no, put the Beatles on.
Send another long love letter, just another long